Hello. Going to be starting up here in a few minutes. Had a lot of technical difficulties with YouTube Studio. They've been messing around with things, and so I did some tests, and they weren't supposed to go live, but it looked like some of them did. So sorry about that if there was a little bit of confusion. So I'm back to using the tablet. That seems to be the thing that works. So welcome to the live stream. Today's subject is 1,000 trails and our experience with it so far. So, and if you got questions, don't hesitate to ask. Can everybody hear me okay? Another thing I found out with these, no problem. Hey John, how you doing? So the other thing I've noticed with the live streams is the chat tends to lag behind a little bit. So if I don't answer your question right away, it's because I haven't seen it yet. So. You're in the UK, John? Oh, okay. For some reason I thought you were. All right, where are you from, John? Texas. Oh, that's right. Okay, cool. You trying to stay dry down there, huh? It's been a lot of flooding. All right. Try and see who is there. All right. Kathy said that was you. I wasn't sure. So how's your wife doing? In La Mesa, yeah. Well, it looks like it's only you and me, John. So I had some issues earlier, and some videos went up that weren't supposed to. YouTube messes up sometimes. Yeah, us too. We're in Missouri right now, and we're going to head south also. Our next stop is Tennessee, and we're going to Natchez Trace, and that is a 1,000 Trails campground there. So we're going to give that one a whirl. So have you signed up yet for 1,000 Trails, or are you looking to see how we make out first? Wow, I think the chat's probably really lagging behind here. All right, well, I've been waiting. Yeah, I had other people waiting too. See how I made out. I'm trying to find a good way to get this to give us a little better picture. Yeah, we did too, but that's why I took the annual membership, This way it's not a huge commitment. Our first experience, though, is Neshonoc Campground at Lake Neshonoc in Wisconsin. And that's where I did the first live stream from. And that place was awesome. We stayed there 2 weeks. Okay, cool, thanks. So we stayed there for 2 weeks, and I was very pleased with it. The only thing is they say that they have these honey wagons, so because not all of these campgrounds are full hookup. We had electric water only, so we had to go dump. Now some of the campgrounds have what's called a honey wagon, and they come and pump you out. So they didn't have one there. They said not for they didn't have the proper connections to be able to do it. They were able to pump out their full-time residents, but not the overnighters. So we had to pack up the trailer, take it to the dump station. I mean, it's just a little bit of an inconvenience, but it was a very nice campground, and there was no extra money out of our pocket with that. So, I mean, that was good. We enjoyed our stay there. It was right on a lake. And we stayed full 2 weeks, and that was it. And then we left there and came to Missouri. On this type membership, this annual pass, if you're in a campground for a couple weeks, or if we're in a Encore campground, you have to be out of the system for a week. Hey, Hershey Motorhome, how you doing? So I don't know if the counts up there are correct. It shows how many people are in there. So, so far, I mean, like I said, I'm pretty pleased with it. As far as scheduling or making reservations, they're never where I seem to be going. Yeah, that's well. All of the campgrounds tend to be around the coast, is what I've noticed. Starting from the northeast down to the southeast, and then heading west, it's along the Gulf, and then through Texas. There again, closer into the border and up to Arizona, and then in the southwest and northwest. In the midsection of the country, there's nothing there. That's why I'm keeping the Passport America and my Harvest Host memberships as well. So, but we do most of our camping along the coastline anyway. So we spend a lot of our time in the winter in the southeast. So let me just look at this. And that's where we tend to be all the time. So, during the winter months anyway. So, all right, Hershey, 1,000 Trails Campground last week at Grays Point, Virginia. How was it? Yeah, in Florida, there is a lot of campground. There's only a couple of actual 1,000 Trails campgrounds. The rest of them are Encore, and there's a ton of Encores in Florida. We have a couple of 1,000 Trails scheduled in Florida, and then an Encore resort right after that. So I'm going 4 days in 1,000 Trails, and then another 4 days in another 1,000 Trails not too far from there. And then we're going to go into an Encore resort for 2 weeks near Port Richey, Florida. So that's the plan. And then we're going to stay there 2 weeks. And then when we're in the Encore system for 2 weeks, we have to pop out for a week. So I got a campground that we like that we're going to use. Okay, so Hershey, right along the Chesapeake Bay, nice, clean, open, yeah. I mean, that's good. And I'll report back as to how these campgrounds are in Florida. Barrington Hills, I think, is one of the ones that we're going to, and that's on the Encore system. And then as we do each one, I'll report back. There will be a video on each one. You know, if you look at the reviews online, you can do that. When you go to make reservations, you're on the 1,000 Trails system. Whoops, okay, 2 week rule. Okay, so you're using two systems here, but they talk to each other. You got the 1,000 Trails and you got Encore, and that's the Trails collection, which I've used. On the 1,000 Trails system, you can go from campground to campground, or they call it park to park, if you stay no more than 4 days at a time. Okay, so you can just keep and then you don't have to stay out. You can just keep moving every 4 days. A bit of a hassle. That would have worked for us our first year because we were traveling a lot. If you stay 5 days or more in one of those 1,000 Trails, then you're going to have to stay out of the system for a week. So if you go from a 1,000 Trails to an Encore, it doesn't matter how many days you stay in the Encore. When you come out, you have to stay out of the system for a week. So on the annual membership pass, you have a maximum stay at any park of 2 weeks. The more expensive memberships they have where you can stay up to 21 days and go park to park, but those are like $6,000 or so. You didn't want to spend that. So 2 weeks continuous in one park, and then you have to be out of the system for a week. Yeah, we noticed there were a lot of full-time residents at this park that we stayed at too, Neshonoc Lake. You're going to get that anywhere. There's going to be full-time residents. That doesn't bother me. Yeah, a lot of golf carts. We had a lot of golf carts in ours too, and on the weekend it was kind of like party time, and you had parades of golf carts going everywhere. It was pretty neat. So way too many carts. Yeah, here again, a lot of the places I've gone to not 1,000 Trails. People drive all over the place with golf carts, but and I expect to see that quite a bit also. So, John, what are you asking price for each? I paid for the annual membership. It was it's $585, but then there's always coupons and discounts being offered where you get $100 off or 20% off. We got 20% off, so we paid like $480, something like that. And then we got the Trails collection was $214. So what I opted to do is they have a payment plan. There's no interest on it, but then it commits you to 2 years instead of just the 1 year. So we took the payment plan. I didn't feel like laying out $700 all in one pop. So we paid, but you have to pay the Trails collection up front, which was $214. So we paid the $214, and then we pay $40 a month. And then we will pay the $40 a month for 2 years. We're going to have, it's a 2-year membership. Price can go up a little bit on the next year. but that's okay. I'm okay with that. And then we got to pay for the trails collection again in the second year. So after our first year is up, we got to pay another $214 in addition to the monthly payment of $40. Huh. Wow, $20 a day to use their golf carts. We have electric bikes, so we get around on that. I had no need for a golf cart, though. So, I mean, so far, I mean, it's been pretty good. Signing up was easy. You can sign up online, easy enough, or you can call their toll-free number and sign up. It was no big deal. The person on the end of the phone, I ended up talking to somebody, their customer service, and they helped sign us up. One thing to be aware of, like we domiciled in South Dakota, and they are not licensed to sell to residents of South Dakota. So you cannot, if you sign up online, you cannot use the South Dakota address. So our workaround for that one was to give them Kathy's sister's, or my sister-in-law's address in Missouri, and that's where they mailed the cards to, and that's how we got around that. So there's a couple states they're not licensed to sell their membership in. So, but like I said, we worked around that easy enough. So Hershey, how do you like your 1,000 trails so far? I mean, I know there was a lot of golf carts. Is that the only campground you've used so far? So while I'm waiting for the chat to catch up here, so the pros so far seem, let's see. Okay, well here's the other thing too. On the Encore system works different than the 1,000 trails. You, let's see, on the Encore, you are assigned a site. When you make the reservation, you don't see what it is, but it's assigned. So there's no worry about having to race there to get there early to get a good spot. The 1,000 Trails campgrounds, those you have to hunt out a spot yourself. So the earlier the better. So I haven't done one of those yet. Next week. Well, yeah, actually, when is it? Wednesday. We're going to be going to 1,000 Trails on Wednesday. So we want to get in there right around checkout time for everybody so we can get a good site. I do not even have a membership. That is just a campground we picked. Oh, okay. So it just turned out to be 1,000 Trails. So how much did you end up paying for the site? I've noticed quite a few of them are pretty expensive. I think the place that we stayed at, Neshonoc Lake, for the campsite that we had are like $60 some odd a night if you're not a member. So as I said, you know, two different systems, but they do talk to each other. The other thing about the membership, the annual membership, is that you can only reserve 60 days out. So, which is a little bit of a drag. If you're kind of planning a trip, you can only plan out 60 days. So, been able to work around it. As far as booking these, it's been pretty easy online. You know, you pick your the beginning date and the end date. And the only place that I had a problem getting a reservation at was one of their newer parks. It's called Holiday Park, I think, in Florida. No matter how I configured the dates, I just could not get a reservation in there. So that was a real busy park. That's the only one so far that I haven't been able to work around. So pick the Zillow sites. They did. So, like I said, only that one park did I have a trouble finding time. Now, if you're experiencing trouble getting a reservation because of dates, you can call their reservation line and they can look at it for you, because this system online doesn't tell you, well, it's not available for these dates. You got to keep playing around with the dates. In a couple of the reservations, I had to shift my start and end dates or arrival and departure dates a little bit back and forth until it said okay. So I guess I should have just called the customer service, and they could have told me what was going on and maybe have been able to work around it, but I didn't do that. So I just went to another campground not too far from that one and was able to make a reservation. So Good Sam discount. Oh, okay. Yeah, I have Good Sam also. And I mean, 10%. It's not a real big savings. I mean, so it was probably $50 a night without the Good Sam, so you got $5 off, and then taxes just takes that back. So, but I still have my Good Sam card, and so in a pinch we'll use it. Like I said, there's nothing in the midsection of the country. That's one of the cons to this whole thing. I wish they did have some campgrounds through like Colorado and that would be nice. Oh yeah, I wish I had done this sooner. You know how much money it would have saved me? Oh, that first year. First of all, in that first year that we traveled all over, we just traveled nonstop and spent a fortune. KOA made out like a bandit on us. We were VIPs and gave us an extra free year of membership. But, so, I mean, I got Good Sam. I'm not going to hunt out Good Sam parks. And it'll do in a pinch, I guess. I'd rather search out Passport America parks if we're going into an area where there's not 1,000 trails or an encore. But if you look through the southeast, all the way up in the northeast, there's actually a fair amount of campgrounds as well in their system. So up in Jersey, there's some. So I don't, if you use mostly the encores, then you don't need to buy the other zones based on what I see so far with where all the encores are. Unless you want to travel from park to park, then you're going to have to do 4-day deals and you stay on the 1,000 Trails system. So when are you going to retire there, Hershey? Now, John, I don't know. Are you still there? If so, I mean, you guys are traveling full time, so you could probably save a ton of money with the 1,000 Trails, I would think. Bob and Pearl, the next exit. Oh yeah, they traveled through our area last summer. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen those people. I haven't met them, but all right. They're 1,000 Trails members. I'm sure they bought the real expensive package. If you go up into the next package, I got an email from Thousand Trails on it. They are offering that I apply $500 of what my membership was, and then towards the next level up, which is $6,500. And I did not want to spend that kind of money. The thing is, though, they do offer a payment plan on that one, and that's a lifetime membership. They were offering a $500 discount if I upgraded, and then $140 a month to pay for the membership for 5 years, and then you don't pay anymore. But you still do pay an annual dues, and it didn't say how much that was, but I don't think I'm ready for something like that. But the nice thing about that is now your stays are 21 days, and you can reserve out to 120, 20 days in advance, which is better. So 57, yeah, I tell you, the time goes by fast, though. You picked up a new coach and are running the tires off. Yeah, that's what we did. I think the natural tendency is to go like crazy that first year. You feel like you have to, you know. That's what we did. Now we're slowing up, and that's where these memberships are going to really pay off. Yeah, you got to watch out if you buy a pre-owned membership, because a lot of the newer campgrounds are not included in there, and then you pay a transfer fee also. So I haven't done much research on the pre-owned memberships, but from what I understand, though, if it's an old membership, a lot of the parks may not be available to you. So you got to watch out for that one. So we got more reservations that we're going to make in the system here, because now I got a new 60-day window out, and so we're going to continue to make reservations. I still got 4 pending reservations. So it's going to be interesting. So anyway, yeah, I hate this. The chat lags behind. So I'm looking forward to Tennessee, and then after we're in Tennessee, we're going to stay there for 2 weeks. We're going to meet up with RV on the Brink, Bill and Sandy. I think they're heading there too, and so we'll see them, and then down to Florida. They also have the Encore and VIP at VPI. I don't know. It's definitely worth getting the Encore. I mean, for a couple $100, it really opens up your opportunities. If you get just 1,000 trails by itself, I think people would be disappointed. It's not a lot of campgrounds, and I think the Encores are probably a little better quality. Oh no, there's the other thing, John. There is no cancellation fee. So you can go ahead and plan your trip, and if things change, you don't have to hesitate and just cancel it. You just go on the website and cancel it. No big deal. Or you can go in and you can edit your reservation and shift the dates around too. That's not a problem. So yeah, you're not stuck. There's no cancellation fee. So that's a big plus. You're going to Branson, Missouri? Oh, okay, in a week. We're going to miss you. So there are no, unfortunately, there's no Thousand Trails or anything in Missouri. So Tennessee there is. The Carolinas, Florida has a ton. Texas has a bunch also. And Arizona has a ton too. I was thinking when we go out west, you know, a lot of people stay at Quartzsite, but there is a ton of encores. So you could stay in an encore resort for 2 weeks and then pop out and do the BLM property for a week. It would only be $40 on the BLM land, or there is still some free BLM there as well. It must be packed in Florida in the winter. Yeah. Yeah, it's their busy time of the year. No, I pay month to month. I pay $40 a month. So, like I said, I had to pay for the trails package up front. And I got a couple of reservations in Florida. Did not have any trouble so far, but I got more reservations to make. Now, we were going to stay in Florida for a good part of the winter, but we got a change in plans. Family wants to meet us up in North Carolina in December, the middle of December, for that Biltmore house. It's the largest estate in the country because there's a museum there. So it looks like I'm going to be stuck going to Asheville, North Carolina, but that's where that Vanderbilt property is. It's owned by the Vanderbilts originally. They actually have a encore resort in Asheville, North Carolina. So that's where my next reservation is going to be. So, yeah, like I said, do you pay by the month, or you can pay by the month, or you can pay all at once. If you pay all at once, then you're committed for only the 1 year. If you do the monthly payment plan, then you commit for 2 years. So this is acting a little flaky. So yeah, so we're stuck on a 2-year membership right at the moment. But still, one of the other reasons too I did the just the annual membership is if something happens, what happens if that company goes out of business and you spent $7,000 or $8,000 for a membership? That's the way I look at things. I mean, they could be financially healthy today, and then who knows what tomorrow can bring. So that's the thing. Now they've been around since like 1972. So yeah, mine does too. It keeps flashing green. So I don't know. YouTube's had all sorts of troubles. I tried running the computer up to do the live stream, and I was trying to do some tests, and I put them private, and they kept posting up live, and I didn't know it. And so there's some stupid stuff that went up. So YouTube is experimenting, I think, with their system. Well, when did you experience the update? I bought a new modem, the 8800L, and I have been getting some really awesome speeds. I've been able to run 4K TV with a good signal. Now, I've had issues in some areas where if the tower's busy, they just slow you up. That's but it's working pretty good. If that's the jetpack that you're talking about, the 8800, there was the update a couple months back, and I never had real major issues with it to start with, so. Whoop. And then it looks like people get popped in and out too, so I've had that jetpack since the plan came out, and it's working since the update. Yeah, so good. Yeah, it's been stable. I haven't had any problem. Hey, American Wanderer, how you doing? Whoop. Number of people just joined up. How you doing? Hey, if you hit the like button too when you come in, that'd be great. So, yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the jetpack, and I got my plan on auto pay so we don't forget, because I think if you let it lapse at all, they'll cancel the plan and you won't be able to get it back. And I think all their other plans kind of suck. So now in Washington, oh, Wilmington, North Carolina. Oh, cool. So weather's still kind of warm there, I would imagine. American Wanderer, do you have the 1,000 Trails also, or no? Yeah. Yeah, once you lose that plan, that's it. Okay. Hi, George. Oh, Maine. We were there last summer. More of a boondocker. Yeah, we were too, but you know what? We still used RV parks here and there. But now that we got the 1,000 Trails, we'll probably do more RV parks and a little less boondocking, but still maybe a week here and there boondocking. Well, all right, guys. I think that's about it. Our next stop is Natchez Trace in Tennessee, and that's 1,000 Trails. All right. Portland and Acadia next year, huh? So you're going to do the East Coast and then the West. Cool. Yeah. Limestone, Maine. Ah, cool. Maine's a beautiful state. We spent almost a month there last summer. We went to Bar Harbor. That was pretty awesome. And then from there we went to Reversing Falls. That was an interesting spot. So if you're into boondocking in Maine, there's a city park in Reversing Falls. It's a small area, but people camped there. And we stayed there 8 days for free. We just did Yellowstone this year. We were in Yellowstone Park for 3 weeks. So hopefully you got your America the Beautiful pass, because that cuts that camping fee in half. I think we spent $10 a day. Well, alrighty guys, I'm going to call it quits for the day here, and grab something to eat. Yes, America the Beautiful pass is the way to go. So got to keep that on hand too. Our next live stream will be from Tennessee, 1,000 Trails Natchez Trace, and I'll let you know how that goes. So until next time, I'll see you guys. You have a great night. Bye now.